Hey there, morbid maniacs. It's time for another Hey there, morbid maniacs. It's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, it's not really spooky as much as it is comforting, but this is going to be signs that your loved one that has passed on is still with you. So number one is that you can feel their presence with you. Have you guys ever been completely alone by yourself in your home and you can just sense that there's like another presence of someone else in the room with you? This happens to me sometimes, and other times you can actually feel that specific person's like presence with you. Like, for example, today I just kept thinking of my grandpa, and I kind of feel as like whenever you just constantly have them on your mind, like you're sensing that they're with you, like they're trying to let you know that they're still with you. You see them in your dreams. So you can have a dream of one of your loved ones, and even though they were sick or they were unhealthy whenever they passed away, in your dream they're happy, they're radiant, they're glowing, they're healthy. And this could be a sign that they're letting you know that they're doing perfectly fine in the afterlife. Some people actually find that whenever they wake from these dreams, they have a sense of closure. And say you're going through like a really tough decision in your life, they could also be appearing to you in your dreams to, you know, help guide you or answer a question. You find signs all around you. So sometimes your loved one won't communicate in obvious ways. They'll send you little synchronicities here and there. And if you don't know what a synchronicity is, it's basically just like a sign from the universe or a sign from like a loved one or an angel or something like that, that they're with you, you know, they're speaking to you. And this could be like a song on the radio. You could just have a random flower appear on your doorstep. Or maybe there was something that this person liked, or something that kind of symbolized your guys' relationship that will just suddenly appear to you out of nowhere. Like, for example, my grandpa liked to hunt and he liked to fish. So maybe I would find like a deer or a fish or a fishing pole, something like that, that would remind me of my grandpa. You feel their touch. Once again, have you ever been sitting in a room alone and all of a sudden you feel something or someone brush up against you? Maybe you felt someone tug at your arm or brush your hair back. This could be the presence of a spirit which is trying to get your attention. I have actually had a few experiences like this myself when my papa passed away. I believe it was the day of his funeral. I was taking a shower that night and it felt as though someone was patting me on the back. Obviously I'm alone because I'm taking a shower and it was in his house, you know, so I believe that that was him. There was also a night when I was spending the night with my grandmother, and it felt as though someone was gently like petting my hair back. And I felt like that was him. And then yesterday I was actually over at my grandmother's house. It felt as though someone flicked my ear. It wasn't like a, you know, mean like let me flick your ear and hurt you. It was more like a playful like flick of the ear. We just found out that another person in my family has passed away, and this person and my grandfather both loved to tease me for some reason. I don't know why, but I took this as a sign that this could be one of them trying to get my attention. And I'd also like to mention that my grandmother and my aunt were in the room with me at the time, but they were both in completely different areas than I was. So there was no way that it could have been them. I also looked around to see if there were any bugs. I didn't see anything. You would get a similar smell that reminds you of them. So this is a very common sign that your loved one is still watching over you. What are commonly reported in experiences like this are smells of cigarettes, cigar smoke, flowers, cooking, perfume. So for example, if my papa was around and, you know, he wanted me to know it, he could easily send me a whiff of his cologne because he loved to wear cologne. So if I get a whiff of Old Spice, I know that it's my grandpa. So it is possible, believe it or not, to hear your loved one calling out your name and no one's around. And if you don't hear that in particular, it's also said that if you hear a buzzing or like a ringing sound in your ears, that this could also be your loved one trying to communicate with you. A phone call. So I made a video all about phantom phone calls at one point on my channel. It's kind of old, but I'm pretty sure I still have it. So if I do, I will definitely leave that in the description box for you guys to go check out. But picture this. You're all alone one day when all of a sudden the phone rings. You pick it up, and on the other end is the voice of your deceased loved one. The person's phone has been disconnected for a while now, and you can't believe what you're hearing. But this does happen in some cases. They could be trying to speak with you. They could miss your voice. Maybe this was something normal that you guys used to do when they were living, like they called you and you guys talked on the phone regularly. There are also some cases of people getting phone calls from unknown numbers, and when they picked it up, there was nothing but static on the other side. Or even some phantom voicemails. Unexplained electrical activity. So we're all made up of energy. And energy runs through things, including electrical devices. For some on the other side, it is easy for them to communicate through these devices. They can make lights go on and off, change the TV channels, move things around, small objects. Many people have come across flowers, coins, feathers, stones. This could also be a sign that your loved one is trying to communicate with you. So we all know that spirits are energy. We're all made up of energy, and spirits usually tend to use this energy to communicate with you. And sometimes they can use the energy of an animal to try and get our attention. For example, when an animal does something unusual, like land in front of you or cross your path or stare at you in the eyes, just something that you're not used to seeing an animal do. It is also said that any animal that is colorful will make it easier for you to notice, because, you know, your eyes are going to be drawn to whatever is colorful and bright. Common birds that are supposed to be signs of your loved one being with you are bluebirds, jays, and cardinals. Some people also experience butterflies, dragonflies, and ladybugs. Now it's actually funny because whenever I was doing research for this video and I got to this part, literally like 2 seconds afterwards, there was this bird that just came up to my window out of nowhere, and it's flapping its wings like crazy. It scared the crap out of me. My cat jumped up on my bed, started looking at it, and then it flew away. And I don't know if that was like my grandpa trying to tell me something, but it was so crazy how it happened right after I wrote this part down for my video. Synchronistic meetings. So spirits can work through your living friends and family to try and communicate with you. The messages that your friends and your family are speaking to you could be your deceased loved one also trying to communicate with you. Those that are in spirit could also send you meaningful people, such as teachers, life partners, new best friends, apparitions. So while this is very rare, it is still possible for some people to see the apparition of a deceased loved one. And I made a video all about this, like whenever my papa first passed away, I made a video talking about all of the experiences I had had. Numbers. So our loved ones can also speak to us through numbers, especially equal ones. All of these could have different meanings. Say for example, you keep seeing an equal number such as 111 or 222 or 333. This could all be a sign that your loved one is trying to speak to you. So this happens to me quite a bit because not only is this a way for your deceased loved ones to speak with you, but it's also a way for angels to communicate with you as well. And if you're like high vibing, like if you are at a very high vibration with the law of attraction, then it's very common and normal for you to see equal numbers all the time. So this happens for me quite a bit, and I actually like to go on Google and like, if I see a certain number a lot, I like to go on Google and see what the meaning is behind that. And that usually will help me like determine what they're trying to tell me. It could also be like a special date for you and that person, such as like a birthday or an anniversary. Thoughts. So we know that like sometimes when we get a thought that our loved ones are trying to let us know that they're with us, you know, like we can feel their presence. They can also try to help guide us through life with different thoughts that we might get. Like sometimes you may be getting ready to make a dumb decision and you'll just have this really intense, like intuitive thought just pop into your head out of nowhere. And that could be your deceased loved one letting you know that that's the wrong decision. Lights. So some spirits may not have the energy to fully manifest themselves in front of us. Therefore, they will come in the form of a light. So if you keep seeing like a white light or a white orb out of the corner of your eye, this could be a sign that your loved one is right there with you. And I noticed this a lot right after my papa passed away, and still do to this day. Those were all of the signs that I could find when I was doing research for this video, but of course there are so many different ways that your deceased loved one can try and speak with you. So let me know if any of these have happened to you, if this video helped you. If there's any other signs that I did not mention that you would like to throw in, I would love to know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become a Morbid Maniac. And I will see you guys in my next video.